welcome to the last Mole Confidential of Season 1. Now, the reason for that being is our next episode that we air on Friday will air the last 2 challenges. The remaining 3 players will take the final quiz. But for this episode of Confidential, we're going to answer a question that we saw in the description of the latest video, which was, does the mole have the answers to the challenges? In particular, I'm thinking people are thinking maybe about the quiz, like in the schoolhouse, or some of the other things that are puzzle related. And the answer to that is, I do meet with the mole secretly and go over things, so the mole has total knowledge of all the challenges. And remember, on the final quiz, it's not important for the mole on that. They don't really take it. It's just for show. So the mole cannot be eliminated, but the mole does know the answers and has background on all the challenges and can plan his or her subterfuge ahead of time if they wish. So like always, we like to give you a sneak peek. This is one of the final 2 challenges that the players will be doing. So this may give you something to try to figure out what it is this challenge is about. But this will be one of our final 2 challenges. All right, so we are here back at the Monument Challenge. We have a few things to address. Giz wants to kind of show some things that the viewers might have missed. Some of you did catch a few things, but I'll let Giz take it from there.
So I pretty much built this challenge. I think you helped me with some of the questions, didn't you?
Well, I might have done something like the Ghostbuster one with you, I think.
Yeah.
But I think everything else was you.
I think me, you, and Mario had a discussion about Balrog or something, didn't we? Lord of the Rings type thing.
Yeah, I think we talked about maybe those were too easy. The Balrog, we thought Ghostbusters would be a little bit harder.
The questions, I just tried to make them easy to start with and then get harder and harder. But as you said to the players, be observant. And actually, if you look at the monuments, on the monuments are all the answers to everyone else's questions. So Lizzie actually didn't have any answers because she was the first. That's just how it went. Or else it wouldn't really work. So, she was wise. That's an answer to one of the questions. 192 stand united. That's what one of the subscribers actually saw that, and they realised. They were like, "Oh, that's an answer. They should have seen that." But you guys didn't see it, did you?
No.
No, it blew up.
Yeah.
But this was only Lizzie that could come here.
Yeah.
So Lizzie.
So if Lizzie, it was quite hard for Lizzie to kind of get if she got that. You know what I mean? But it's still there. The answers were still there for you guys to get, and on the other ones as well.
And it should be noted too, since it's obvious that since Lizzie was eliminated, she wasn't the mole. We had no idea, knowing how far Lizzie would go in this game.
Oh, she did so well.
I did not.
She did really, really well.
I did not help her, but when it came to this challenge, if Lizzie was still in the game, we were worried potentially because, being 8 years old, it's tough to do trivia. So we kind of made her do this first category where she had a fighting chance. She still didn't make it, but it was one of those things where we just didn't know if she would be here for this challenge.
Right, so the end question here was about which of these books were written by, I believe, Charles Dickens?
Yeah.
And someone mistakenly said in a comment that no, it wasn't Charles Dickens that wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It was Robert Louis Stevens, spelled well wrong and not even the right last name. And then someone had commented correctly that it was C.S. Lewis that wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which was right, but then stated that Robert Stevens was a poet, which is true. He was a poet, but he was also probably, my second or third favorite author of all time, and wrote Treasure Island and the book that the Jekyll and Hyde story is based on, and several other books that are actually fantastic that you can find at your local library.
Yay! Support your local
Libraries
library.
are good.
Reading is
Go to your libraries.
Reading is fundamental.
Who was on the history?
It was me.
Piper, and then she had Lizzie's help.
How did you find the questions?
I knew some of them. I knew like European ones. But the ancient history, I mean, I've done history pretty much all my life, studied history, and ancient history not so much. Didn't know those. But the I think there was one about the World War, wasn't there? Which I've done extensively, which I got right.
I knew you'd get that one.
It's about
There was an Assassin's Creed one as well. I slipped in there.
And next was the math category.
Yeah.
Let's look and see what some of the messages here were.
Pirates like alcohol. There is no Dana, only Zool. Richard Nixon. You shall not pass. Look at the stars, kill them all. Yeah, that one was. Yeah, Wolf, you did a.
I did alright on this, except for the random history and social studies question that was thrown in.
Well, that kind of went back to the monument.
Yeah.
Because it kind of linked in with the monument. So if you were looking at the monument and saw the answers, you guys would have been able to actually get that question right.
Yeah. And then finally over here was movies. And I don't believe there was any clues here because it was the last category.
Right.
I think I was more focused on trying to answer the questions correctly than I was about looking around to see what's around there.
All right, and like always, we like to show you if there was any notes left from the mole. This is Lizzie's room, and if we come in here, we can see there's a sign that reads, Lizzie, who is only 8, you were really, really great, but you can't defeat me, he, love the mole. And then extra outside the window. All right, now on our current survey going into last week's episode, so before last Friday's episode, you guys thought by a majority that DeSille is the mole. Now this was the first time as a group the majority hasn't picked somebody who was eliminated in that episode. Of course the question is DeSille the mole? There is a note over here from the mole which reads, so you think I am DeSille? Maybe you're right. But maybe you're wrong, or have you seen the light? So, yet again, the mole's still teasing you. And our next segment?
The mole comment of the week.
All right, today's mole comment of the week is from Esteban Goth. And I may have butchered that, but that's what we're going to go with.
I'm very good at math, history, and puzzles.
But not spelling. So that's the mole comment of the week. And this Friday, the final 2 challenges and final quiz of the mole, and leading you guys one step closer to determining who is the mole. So if you guys want to say goodbye, we'll head out.
Bye.
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 All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Nope.
I broke.
Why is one
stuck
of mine
in a
gone
hole.
off?
Oh, there goes mine.
Only one thing of mine's gone off and I've flicked them all.
Blow the
Oh, yeah.
TNT, blow
Oh,
the
yeah, I
TNTs, blow the
forgot.
TNTs. Geronimo!
I forgot the backup plan.